Hi all, in this video we are talking about how groups and guilds will work in Dune Awakening. As with every bigger online game or MMO, some of the first questions many players might ask is how playing with friends or guilds will be like. Luckily, there are a lot of new details that have been shared throughout presentations and interviews at Gamescom. So let's dive right into it. Groups in Dune Awakening will consist of max 4 players. And since the game will also have ground and air vehicles, there will be some, like buggies and ornithopters, that can transport a full group. So that's good news for exploring the map together and planning excursions. As with the general permission system, where you can create your own custom roles for other players, you can also customize group permissions, allowing you to either build bases together, share vehicles and so on. While it was said that most of the content of the Haga Basin map, that's where you start out, level and establish a base, could be soloed, there are also locations that might call for friends. For instance, the dungeon-like testing stations. It seems some of them can be more challenging than others, and entering these points of interest with 2 or 4 players can make things a lot easier. The various professions also have skills and abilities that can be beneficial when playing in a group, like one of the examples shown, where a player put up a shield for cover while others deal range damage. Now, a common misconception is that these testing stations are instanced, but it was actually confirmed that they are public spaces anyone can enter at any time. Hence, every player will be able to loot chests and similar containers individually, so you don't end up running through an empty instance loot-wise. Currently, there is no dedicated healing class that can support a group in game, only select individual healing abilities. However, in the lore of Dune there are Zook Doctors, and creative director Joel Bylus said that they might add this profession to the game post-launch. Now, what about guilds? Well, if you expected something like very large guilds with hundreds of members, then you're in for a disappointment. Bylus quoted a calculation from old-school MMOs where raids usually would be 4 times the size of a group, and a guild should be roughly double that. While he specifically mentioned 32 as a potential guild size, he also entertained the possibility of something in the region of 50. So these numbers aren't 100% decided yet, but it seems guild sizes will be somewhere in the region between 32 and 50. Speaking of raid groups, no, nothing like this is in game yet. But it was suggested that if you go for harvests of larger spice blows in the deep desert, that's the PvP only map that can support hundreds of players, you should consider traveling there with more players, and even with up to 4 groups to be on the safe side and efficient. Again, anything can technically be soloed, but some activities can be cumbersome, and if you want to be a bit more strategic about it, think about organizing things within a larger group. On a side note, friendly fire is a thing in the PvP areas, so keep that in mind. In addition to a classic ranking system with respective permissions for the various member roles, guilds will also be able to select from a number of options to customize how they will be visually represented. Apparently, this also applies to skins and colors for your armor and vehicles, which sounds pretty cool. However, it was also said that anyone could technically choose the same designs, so we assume there's nothing that allows for a wholly unique customization. Now, the main reason why guilds will want to work together, beyond having more control over large spice harvesting activities, is the political system in Dune Awakening. There will be weekly objectives given to the great houses by an institution called the Landsraad, and guilds from the different factions will want to work together towards these objectives. Whichever faction wins at the end of the week will be able to influence what changes for their faction on the server. An example for an objective could be to deliver a certain number of ornithopters to the Landsraad, with the winning side unlocking a server-wide XP bonus or reduced taxes for their faction. At least that's roughly how it will work. And that's all we have in regards to group and guild play in Dune Awakening so far. What do you think? Are you looking forward to join or even create a guild? What do you think about group and guild sizes? As always, let us know in the comments, and if you could support us with a sub or a thumbs up, it would mean a lot to us.